In today's episode, the Daewoo Espero. Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, the channel that looks at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond those years as well. Watch a bit of the programme. It's a bit niche, but if you do like this content, please do consider subscribing. Anyway, this particular episode wasn't really an episode I actually planned, but a lot of people say, please do this episode. Last Wednesday, we looked at the Daewoo Nexia, because we're doing a little bit of a series looking at the Mark II Astra and its derivatives and similar vehicles. In an all-range car brochure, and a lot of people said, please show us the other Daewoo in the range. Well, Wednesday, I've kind of like promised I'm going to do the Mark II Astra, the very early '84 brochure, so it makes sense to fit it in here on Monday, which is currently an empty slot. So let's turn the camera around and have a look at this very interesting car. So here it is, the Daewoo Espero, and I'm glad there was lots of people who said, yeah, I want to see this car, because it is an interesting one and very much a forgotten car as well. You never really know if people are interested, so I like it when people shout out and say, yeah, let's do that car as well. So I've tried to fit it in, and of course I like to do what you guys want me to do. An interesting design overall. So this particular design is sort of like a Citroen Bertone style of design. At this sort of time, Citroen had their own designers, and Bertone obviously had their own designers, and they kind of like decided for Citroen what designs they were going to use. So XM, Xantia, Bertone designs were picked, although in many ways it was very similar to what Citroen designers were coming up with anyway. And this particular design was around that period, and it was a cast-off design. They approached Bertone and said, can we use that design? I don't know how that conversation or meeting went. And also Citroen said, yeah, use it. It's just one of our cast-off designs. So there it is. And actually, I do quite like the design. It's a bit interesting. And under the skin, it's quite an old design, really. It's a Mark II Cavalier. So an interesting collaboration, which makes a very unusual car in many ways. Anyway, let's read the text and then we'll come back to these images and have a little bit more of a chat. So it begins by telling us the Espero is a car built for people who like to stand out from the crowd. It offers all the features you could want in a car, as well as being responsive, comfortable and distinctively styled. Put yourself in the driving seat and you're certain to be surprised by the Espero's wealth of standard equipment. It has everything from electric windows and mirrors to power-assisted steering and central door locking. Some models will even boast a CD player and air conditioning for the ultimate in driving pleasure. But as you would expect, safety has not been neglected in favour of comfort. For beneath the surface, Espero's safety credentials include side impact bars in all doors, driver's airbag, electronic anti-lock braking, anti-submarining seats and seatbelt pre-tensioners. These all go to ensure that the Espero will be one of the safest cars on the road. When it comes to power, you'll find the Espero is particularly well specified with a choice of 3 advanced engines, 1.5, 1.8 or 2 litre. Each has been tuned to offer an optimum balance between outright performance and reassuring economy. Transmission options include a 4-speed automatic with overdrive. This feature features an electronic brain which selects the optimum movement for a change of gear and momentarily reduces engine speed to ensure a smooth transition. With such advanced capabilities, it's no wonder that the Espero is predicted to be one of the most popular cars on the road. Well, that never happened, did it? But still, yeah, very interesting car. I look at one of the engine choices. I'm surprised there are actually 3 engine choices in this car, actually 1.5, 1.8 and 2 litre. That's a little bit unusual for this sort of like bargain basement car, I think. But I'm sure maybe this is the 2 litre. I can't 100% say that. Let's have a look inside the car. Now this is obviously an automatic here. Unusual styling of that steering wheel with the badge going down there. Not a bad overall look for a budget car though in the 90s actually. Yeah, it's not going to be, ooh, wow, look at this inside of this car, but actually it's not too bad, is it, with those sort of like swooping doors and how it sweeps around. I don't mind that at all. So this sort of rear shot is what always reminds me of the Espero, with that sort of like big reflector going all the way across. It was very distinctive and quite memorable from that rear end. I think you could argue it's a little bit bland, but when you look at the rear, that was always what triggered my memories to think of these cars. So this one must be one of the higher spec cars, bit of a CD player, CD changer in there. Probably just a single CD actually. A little Daewoo on the player there as well. So yeah, quite high spec for the time period. Fans, speed, heater controls, cooling controls, etc. Or for me, peak. That was always my favourite design. It was always so easy to use when car manufacturers follow that very simple process. Today's cars are just silly, really. But let's look at one more image. The front end looks like we've got a bit of a fog lamp on this particular example. Don't mind that front end either, I must admit. And then the main image. I wish it was a better image, but kind of like this area reminds me of Citroens of that era. So this particular one has got the model designation CD. I kind of think it is the top model. Very much Vauxhall Opel trim. Name they've also kind of like stolen there, as well as the Mark II Cavalier, haven't they? This sort of like window design round here is very much a Bertone sort of Citroen sort of design, so I can understand that sort of concept. But overall, for a rejected design, quite a good looking car actually. A little bit of an interesting car as well, and you kind of like forget there's a Mark II Cavalier under all that. So yeah, that's all there is actually in this brochure for this particular model of car. I'm not even really sure what else this brochure contains. Let's have a quick flick through. A bit of a page talking about sort of designs. The future of Daewoo didn't quite happen right, but let's have a look at the future. So this is apparently where Daewoo was going. Looks very Renault actually to me, that. Apparently this is called the Daewoo number 1, which is a little bit of a weird design concept, just to show you how many design concepts there were maybe. Look at the engine, 16 valve, and look at the interior. Apparently that's where they were going. It doesn't look too futuristic though, does it? But yeah, overall, not too much information in this all-range car brochure. Obviously, there was only a tiny little company in the UK at this time just offering those 2 different cars. Unusual little bit of a thing there. The biggest car company you've never heard of. A bizarre little caption, Daewoo, but an interesting front cover. Paper quality, it's like almost like cards, so that's why it's lasted, I guess, on the rear. The Daewoo UK address at the time. So anyway, just another quick episode there from Daewoo on this all-range car brochure, the Daewoo Espero. An interesting car, I must admit. I wonder if there's, I'm sure there are, but I wonder how many of these cars are left. Did you own one? How did you get on? Probably my favourite of the Daewoo's actually, the Espero, if I'm completely honest. An interesting looking vehicle, interestingly styled as well. Next episode we will look at the Mark II Astra, so keep an eye out for that one, in a very big actually all-range car brochure for the early Mark II Astra, so that'll be an interesting one to see the range. Maybe we'll return one day to look at the Espero in a bit more detail in a bigger car brochure. I think it's probably worth another look. But thank you so much for watching today. We'll end as we always do by saying If you've not done already, please do consider subscribing. It is all completely free. You'll never be charged to be a subscriber, so please do that. It will help you keep in touch with the channel and also gives me an idea that people may actually be interested in this rather nerdy content. On this particular screen, I'll also put a link to the Nexia in this particular box, just in case you missed it. But thank you so much for watching today. Please do join us again soon. All the best, take care, and goodbye.